Hello everyone, my name is Lisa and I'm a bit vegan because I'm Viet and I'm vegan, and I haven't done one of these in a while, but here is a what I eat in a day. This was a day in July, so it's very like summer menu reminiscent, but we're starting off the day with some tofu scramble. This is like the only way I make tofu scramble anymore because the texture is just superior. First I saute a bunch of veggies that I want to put in it. This is mushrooms and shallots. I switched to using shallots as like my main allium in cooking now. I don't know why, I just like it better. I just stopped buying white onions as much and now I just use shallots, but like obviously they're interchangeable, but I just seem to really like shallots lately. So I buy them from Costco. One box lasts me about like 2 weeks, and yeah, it's a good time. I'm just using some extra firm tofu here. This is like a different kind of tofu that I've been getting from Costco. It is like extra firm, but it's like a different brand. I think it's Superior Tofu, and it is like softer than the Fontaine Santé one that I get, but I really like the texture better. The other one is kind of like a grainy texture. The curds are like really piecey, if that makes any sense, whereas I find this one is a bit creamier. Both are good. I still use the other one sometimes, but I prefer this one, except it's double the price, so your mileage may vary. Tofu scramble is very much like a clean out the fridge kind of meal for me, so it is excellent in that sense because Bean and Eddie will eat pretty much anything that's in it. Well, Eddie won't eat mushrooms, but Bean will eat the mushrooms. Now I add just egg to all of my tofu scrambles because I just find the texture is just like a lot more reminiscent of like actually scrambled eggs, and like I use tofu to sort of like bulk it up. Us as a family, we'd probably eat 1 carton of just egg in one go, and that's like $9. That's kind of expensive. So what I do is I add it to tofu, and then that stretches it out to like 2 to 3 meals for our family, depending on how hungry we are that day. So that is the way that we stretch it, you know, make it a little bit more worth it for us. Normally I just serve this with toast, and then I make the vegan egg yolk sauce, which we call dippy toast in our house. Eddie really likes dipping this in the dippy toast sauce. Bean really will just eat the dippy toast by the mittful, like they'll just scoop it with their hands and just shove it into their face. It's really, really refined, you know, we're just a really bougie house here. If you want that recipe, I'll leave it linked down below, but today we just had hash browns and ketchup. You know, we got some veggies in there, we got some protein, we got some carbohydrates, we got some iron rich spinach with tomatoes. I call that a win. Summer is like iced coffee time, so I've just been drinking iced coffee pretty much every day. It's the same thing every time. It's a double shot of espresso with ice and water. I don't use like hot water, I just use like ice water because it's iced coffee. And then I add 1 pump of like a sugar syrup. So this is just French vanilla sugar syrup, and that is my coffee. Oh, and I also add a little bit of coffee creamer. And that has been what I've been drinking pretty much every day. I really like this kind of iced coffee better because I find the flavor of the coffee just to be better, and it's like cold in the way that I like it, and it's less liquid. I've been finding that like I can't really drink that much liquid all at once. For example, if I have like a can of pop, I can't have the whole can. I can only drink like a half or like 2/3 of it before I'm like just full. I don't know how people fit more liquid in their body. I have friends who like drink alcohol, and before, when I used to drink with them, I would have like 1 drink for every 2 to 3 drinks that they would have, and they'd be like, come on Lisa, keep up. And I'm like, I cannot fit that much liquid in my body. It's not even like the alcohol thing. I mean, like I also couldn't keep up alcohol wise. The ratio is actually pretty accurate. Like for 1 drink they can handle 3 drinks because my friends drink a lot more than I do, or than I ever did. Turns out I was allergic to alcohol anyway, so that might have contributed to my lack of ability to process the alcohol. For context, I don't think I've ever explained it here, but I grew up with a liver disease that is very common amongst East Asians, and I thought it was like catastrophic, and so like it changed my entire life. I found out when I was like 21 and I was trying to donate blood, and they're like, actually you have this disease, and I was like, what? I never needed treatment for it. It's like a very like low, it just exists in my body, but yeah, I just have to like be conscious of my liver health. But it turns out that I don't really like drinking alcohol anyway. But I talked to my doctor about it, and he was like, you can drink, but you just can't drink like a lot. And I was like, oh, okay, well then I will start drinking again. And I would have drinks like every now and then. I had like 1 or 2 cocktails socially and stuff like that. But turns out I don't really like the taste of alcohol, and then it was giving me like these hives and like extreme eczema breakouts. Like my skin would be like horrifically dry and cracked for like 2 or 3 days post drinking, and then the process after would be like healing, and it was very uncomfortable. And it turns out my doctor, another doctor, my family doctor, the other doctor was my liver doctor, my family doctor was like, I think you might be allergic to alcohol. And I was like, that's a thing? You can, what? So I just haven't been drinking since before I was pregnant. I'm gonna say, I think the last time I drank was like end of 2020. So yeah, that's just my reality. I'm allergic to alcohol. I'm allergic to tree nuts. I haven't seen like an actual allergist about it, but based on my symptoms and based on like my doctor's observations, I'm allergic. So that is just my life now. I didn't expect to go on a tangent about alcohol and my allergies, but here we are. But this was breakfast. We had obviously hash browns and some ketchup, and we've been giving Bean some ketchup lately, and they have been loving it. They just smear their little baby chunky hands into it and just lick it, or they'll dip whatever they're eating into the ketchup and then lick that off and then re-dip it again. It's pretty gross, but it's pretty fun. This is Bean's plate. We've got some rice balls. This is just steamed rice. Tofu, mushrooms, carrot, some gailan, and then I'm gonna feed them some soup. Oh, that's very dark. Hold on. Tom yum soup that I've heated up. It's just leftovers. There's tofu, coconut milk, tom yum paste. I have a recipe. I'll link it down below. The doors are unlocked. Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, you gonna blow on it? Okay, it's still hot, so we're gonna let that cool over there. It's still hot. Do you want more tofu? There you go. I've had some people ask me if the way that I cook has changed because of Bean, and it absolutely has, but I still mostly cook foods that like I want to eat or like that we want to eat as a family. But I do make sure that there is something with protein, something with fiber, something that's iron rich, and something that has fat in it for Bean, and then like an energy source, obviously, because they're a kid, they need energy. That's kind of like what I aim for here. And I do try to mix up the protein sources so that's not just tofu every day. That has been something that I've been like sort of stuck in a rut about, that I just make stuff with tofu because I know that they'll eat it consistently. Sometimes I'll try different beans or I'll add lentils, but they're kind of like hit or miss on them. It really depends on the day. It's not about like making sure that they eat beans every single day, but it's about like trying to make sure over a week that they have a variety of different protein sources. Overall, I think that like our meals have mostly been very similar to like what I wanted to eat before. It is less spicy, so my spice tolerance has actually gone down, but we have like different cuisines all the time. We have like Korean, sometimes I make Japanese, sometimes I make obviously Vietnamese, Western type foods, Italian foods. Sometimes we'll have Ethiopian takeout. Like it is a variety of foods that we still ate beforehand, but it is just modified to make sure that we're meeting all of Bean's nutritional needs. It's burger night. We've got Impossible burgers with Viet cheese, onions. Yes. For the baby, we have Eve's burgers because it's cheaper and you seem to like it. And you don't really appreciate an Impossible burger. Hot. Is it hot? No? Okay. We got Swiss chalet sauce, which is vegan if it's from a can. French fry. Yeah, you dip it. Yeah, that's right. This baby was made for dipping. This is a saucy baby. This is Mama's favorite. So that's what I ate in a day in July, with some bonus content of what Bean eats as well. And a little bit of Eddie, Eddie still exists, so you don't have to worry about that. Sometimes I feel like if I don't show Eddie in my videos at a regular enough frequency, people assume something is wrong, but he's just working. He just works a lot. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're wondering where the Mi Guang video is, it is, I think I need to test it one more time because I don't think I was like completely happy with it the last time I made it, but it is very close to being done. I will post it as soon as it's ready. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a delicious day. Bye-bye.